guys! So, I'm Andy, I'm here to bring you all things mundane and makeup related. If that's your vibe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to be part of my little slice of the internet. And in today's video, I'm bringing you a singles Saturday where we're using, this is the Chantico Beauty Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade number 2 that we got in our Ice Cream Beauty box for July. So, that's what we're using today. If you want to know more about this project and everything that I'll be using to create my look today, then let's get into it. So, this is created by Kay at Makeup Blends. I will have her listed down below as well as all the pertinent details. This started on July 26th, and you can just post a reel, a short, a YouTube video, just an Instagram post, any kind of social media that you would like, or all of the above, featuring just one single shadow or multiple single shadows of your choosing. As long as you post on Saturday at any time, you are good to go. You can post it just the once, you can post it every Saturday, you can post it every once in a while on Saturdays. Again, also your choice. Kay wanted this to be community driven, similar to Throwback Thursdays, because we don't get enough use out of our single shadows. I am starting with all of my potted cream and liquid shadows because I really don't get enough use out of those, and also because I have my magnetic singles in their own project at the moment. So this is the one we'll be using today. We will roll for the next one at the end. But the palette I'm going to be using is my Jeffree Star Cremated palette. It's my Pile of Shame palette at the moment. It's a big one. So this is what it looks like. I figured it would just be a nice base for that. I have not decided, let me get the notebook out of the way, what shades I'm going to use yet. So I'm thinking that this is the shade that I want all over the lid. So I'm going to probably want a shimmer on the outer corner and a shimmer on the inner corner. And then we just are going to need to lay down some mattes. So first, let's swatch this guy. So like I said, this is the shade 2 from Chantico Beauty. It is a multi-chrome liquid shadow. And for me, I'm seeing like a teal to green to a light green to a gold. So I love the bare packaging. I believe we're getting another one this month in August, because you guys are seeing this in September. So, yeah. I'm thinking, I know for sure this is the shade I want to use on my inner corner. This is the shade Diamond Ashes, because, that's just gorgeous. But I don't know what I want to use on my outer corner for a shimmer, because I don't know what mattes I want to use yet. So, let's see. Because I can do this one of two ways. I'm thinking I can either go super cool toned gray, or I could do these more like slightly warmer toned grays. So let's see. The shadow is pretty cool. We're going to do the cooler toned grays. So I'm going to first prime my eye with my Julep Shadow Stick in the shade Desert Matte, which I'm already running through this. I did pick up another shade to try, and it's in the shade Vanilla Matte, and it's a more like yellow tone. So I'll have to see how I like that one. I really do think, though, that this shade Desert Matte is just going to be my go-to, like, #1 shade. But I said this in a different video. If you have any shadow stick recommendations that you like using as a eyeshadow base, I would love to hear it, because I don't really like shimmer eyeshadow sticks, but I love matte shadow sticks that I can use as a base. So, any recommendations you have for those, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Alright, so let's see. I think I'm going to start with, just to see how it goes, we're going to start with Casket Ready. I just want to see if we can see that shade. Oh god, it's powdery. So we're going to see if we can see this at all, which we can't, but... And you don't need to set these shadow sticks. They set down to a powder anyway, but I did just want to see if this shade would show up. So It doesn't, but I'm going to apply it where I would normally anyway. So there we go. It's on there. That did much of nothing. So let's see. I'm going to go into life insurance. And let's see if we can see that. That's going to be the biggest thing is, do these shades build up? Are we going to be able to see them? Because of how light these grays are? Because this palette goes really light. Like, we only actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 darker grays. Well, 3 dark grays. We have a darker, like, more warm-toned gray, brown, and then the black. I can see this shade just a little bit. You can see it. Okay. As long as we can see it a little bit, I'm happy with using it as our first kind of crease transition-y shade. But I love filming these videos. Normally I don't like filming on the weekends, but ever since starting this Saturday project, I love it so much. I think it's so fun. These shades have a lot of kick up. Next, we're going to go into the shade Wednesday. So let's see. Let's see what this does. So, of course, this shade doesn't have much kick up. This is my first time using this palette, by the way. Because, like I said, it's my pile of shame palette, so I had never used it prior to pulling it into that project, and this is my first time using it, period. So I can also give you guys a little review on how I feel about the palette as a whole, as well as how I feel about the eyeshadow. I mean, I'll give you a better review in my pile of shame update, but I can just give you like a first impression review of the palette. Ooh, I like this shade though. I do love Jeffree's mattes. I think they always blend really, really nicely. That shade's nice. I don't think I'm going to go into the black. I don't think I want to go that deep and dark, personally. But I do want to take just a little bit. We're going to go into RIP, because I don't really want to go into the black. But I do just want just a hair of depth in this outer edge. And I like that we have options, so that like the only deepening shade isn't the black. Because I don't honestly love working with black eyeshadow 9 times out of 10. I think it's too harsh. So there's that. And honestly, Jeffree's black shadows are intense. Like camping. There's not a whole lot of difference between the shade Wednesday and RIP. Like, you can see on camera more of the difference than I can in person. So that'll do it for me. So now I'm just going to take those shades on the lower lash line. And then we'll have to pick out our outer corner shimmer, because we got a lot of options for darker shimmers. But I'm thinking I want to do Pallbearer, but I don't know. We might just do Mortuary Beautician. The shade Life Insurance has so much kick up. So here's the shade Pallbearer, which I love that texture. And then here's the shade Mortuary Beautician. I think we're actually going to go into that because I don't want anything to steal the show too much. So here's Mortuary Beautician, which is just a little more subtle, but it still has a depth. So that's what I think we're going to go into. So I'm going to take NYX Glitter Glue. And we're going to try to use the eyeshadow in two ways. Well, apply it in two different ways. Because I got a comment, which I don't remember your name, the person who commented off the top of my head, but you were having issues with the application of this shadow. So we're going to try it in two ways. I'm going to try applying it with the doe foot and buffing it out with my finger. And we're going to try it with a brush and see which one applies better. I'm sorry if you hear Blazemere messing with his box and his bags. Okay, so Mortuary Beautician. We're going to put that right here on the outer edge. And I'm going to start with the finger application because that's normally how I would apply my shadows. So I'm going to take the liquid shadow and I'm just going to first apply it like that, and then I'm just going to take my finger and kind of dab it out. Oh god, that shears it out so you can't even see it. Okay. So let's see, is this one that we have to just use the applicator? Okay, I hate that. Let me wipe that off because now that's got gray shadow on it. Okay, I'm going to go back into Mortuary Beautician just for those edges. Let me open this up. And then we're going to take Diamond Ashes on the inner corner. Which I love that. I love the shades that we used from Jeffree. Did not enjoy how the liquid shadow turned out on this side. I'm going to go do all of the mattes and everything, and I'll come back so that we can do the liquid shadow together over here with the brush. So for you, it'll be just a second. Alright, so here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and take from this on a brush and see if that works better. Okay. So again, it's super sheer. You can't spread this shade out. You really just have to stamp it. I like the control of using this brush better. I think this looks so much better than this. But you can't swipe it, you can't try to blend it, you have to stamp the color to get it to be worn the best. I think, personally, it might be different for other colors as well, but I don't love how that applied. Let me add our inner corner highlight. So I definitely prefer how this eye came out. So let me see if I take the brush. Has this already dried? Yes. Can I fix it? There. That's about as good as this side's gonna come out. Unfortunately, because like I said, we were trying different techniques, and that happens, and that's okay. But that's how I would apply these, is with a brush and with stamping motions. Let me pop off real quick. I'm doing my Hourglass mascara, which I'm loving, and let me find a lip, and I'll be right back. Alright, so picked a lip, put mascara on, stabbed myself in the eye with mascara, and so the first thing, the palette. Love the mattes. They're a little powdery, they have quite a bit of kick up, but they're nice, and the shimmers are nice. This shimmer, Mortuary Beautician, didn't even have like a crazy amount of shine, but I still really like it. So, for my first time use, first impression, I like it. It was nice. I have so much hairs sticking out. It is wild. But as far as the Chantico liquid shadow goes, I don't love it. I do think that this application method came out better. So if this is a shade that you like, or it's a formula you want to keep, because I am going to go ahead and declutter this, I would highly suggest the brush and the dabbing patting motions. That's how I would suggest would be the best to put this on. But like I said, I know we're getting another shade of this month. So if I like the shade, I'll definitely try that again and keep it. But this shade in particular, I know I have this in a magnetic single shadow, so I would just rather keep that kind of formula, but I do think this is cute. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that on. I'm going to throw up the photo of, what is on my finger, of the shadow we will be rolling in. Not photo, the wheel spin. My goodness. And we got the ColourPop single shadow in the shade On a Whimsy. So this is technically a magnetic single, but I shoved it into this little case and I can't get it out. So it's now its own single. So this is the shade. It's like a blue silver. So this is what we'll be using next. So I'm very excited. I already know that I like this shade, so it'll just be what at the time I'm pairing it with. So I already know I'm keeping this, spoiler alert, but I love this so much. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of Single Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.